back, everybody, to REI Hot Seat. Got another great episode for you today. We're going to kick it off right over to Dave. I think he's got a property for us.
We've redacted would be the right word. We took the address off, but it is in St. Thomas.
Redacted. I just picture like big black lines all over the page.
Yeah. We have redacted the address. It's 18 unit in St. Thomas. Okay. It's unique because there is a boatload of vacant units, a lot. Wild story as to why, but we'll leave that out for another day.
Okay.
But they are all of the vacant units are truly vacant and not coming back.
Okay.
There are some LTB issues, but most of them have been cleared. So there's just kind of one outstanding for now. And basically,
and how many vacant?
How
many units in total and how many vacant?
Yeah, so it's 18. It's a little confusing because there's actually no number 13 unit.
Okay.
So if you look on the rent roll, it says 19, but it's truly 18. Vacant is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 vacant units. Okay.
All right.
All of them are 2 beds except for 3. So most of them 2-bed big units. And all of them but 2 are renovated. They've been renovated to MLI Select energy efficiency standards. So we've got the heat pumps, we've got the new windows, we've got all the accoutrement that would get you to the old. Remember the good old days?
Well,
100 points.
I was going to say. So I'm assuming these renos were done prior to the change in program, or why?
Correct.
Why do these renos? I guess.
Yeah, they did them for. Just for a little background for some of the listeners, there was a point in time with CMHC where you could get 100 points through their MLI Select program. So there's kind of 2, they're standard, then MLI. You could do full energy efficiency, which is just make the building better. You had to hit a certain amount of efficiency in the building, and then you would get 100 points, which put you into the best tier program. You could get up to 95% loan to value, 50-year amortization, all on energy efficiency.
Yes.
I know you knew that, but it was a good recap.
No, that's important. And I feel the energy efficiency program, like you still can use energy efficiency to gather points, right?
Absolutely.
That's something to throw out there.
Yes, good point.
It's not that they've done away with this program completely. They've just reduced it down to a maximum of, I believe it's 70 points.
I think it was 50, but
50?
yeah.
I was just looking at the sheet
it
the other
70?
day. No, I don't know. I don't know. I got to go back.
We can
but
check.
Anyhow, you could still use efficiency to gain some benefits, right? That would be a lower debt service. That would be reduced fees.
Yeah.
You're not going to get 95% loan to value, but you could probably get up to 85%.
Yes.
Right? And you can get probably a 40-year AM.
Yeah.
So again, not the whole kit and caboodle here, but
a lot.
But a lot. And so I'm assuming you can still use the dollars that went into this building for efficiency to actually help you with that.
Yeah, that's a great.
And I would imagine that it's, in general, you're going to have reduced utility bills and legitimately better efficiency. Why people should be doing this.
It's so funny how far people take that without that point of the conversation, which is I actually made my building more efficient.
Yes.
And runs better and it's
Well,
cheaper.
I think that's why they got rid of it, because CMHC saw that and went, oh, no one actually gives.
No.
Nobody cares about it.
No one even talks about it, which is insane.
Actually how efficient their building is running.
It was too lucrative a program. Everybody jumped on it.
Yeah.
So they're, I did it on one of mine. I think you've done it several times. The amount of money you put in to make it energy efficient is it's quite expensive. Yeah. And so when it's done, it's extremely beneficial. So stepping into a building that is vacant, has a lot of vacancy, that is effectively fully rented without 2 units.
Love it.
Yeah, it's really, really good. And you bring up a good point. The new buyers, and this is why you want to work with mortgage brokers who truly understand this, right? They're going to work with you to help guide the conversation of, can we use the old renovations that were done and the old energy efficiency under a new submission? And we'll let them answer that question, but there may be a way.
There's some nuance, right? And anyways, that's a whole nother episode. So let's not dive into that today.
Yeah, and maybe somebody we want to bring on to have that conversation. But
yeah, exactly.
So then it comes down to there's no reps, there's no warranties, power of sale deal. So basically, what are we buying? And we're seeing, be curious your thoughts, but a lot of these small to mid-size unit buildings, power of sale receivership, and they're struggling to sell. And we always say it's too small for the big guys and too big for the small guys.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where this falls in line, I think.
Yeah. Seems about right? 18 units. What's the price on it?
The ask is 3.8 million.
Okay.
Which puts it. So I've underwritten it at 3.5. It's where I really start to like the deal. Will they go that low? There's again many nuances to what they need to do to sell it to hit numbers. So let's just assume for the conversation they will. Okay. The next conversation, which we get into all the time, is like filling in the vacant units. Like, what do we do? You remember there was a time when we had a bunch of vacant units, and that deal was like people were kicking doors.
Gone.
Like immediately. Yeah. And now we're seeing, and we've dealt with it many times, especially on the listing side. You have these vacancies, and people treat it like the leper. Like it's a plague.
I think the biggest challenge right now with the vacancies is I'm sensitive to call it declining rental market, because I do think there was data that just came out to say actually rental rates have increased or stayed steady over the last quarter.
Interesting.
In general,
right.
And that is a big in general.
Yeah.
But I did see some data to say that yes, rental rates are stabilizing.
Isn't that funny? Like in a growing market, you can be a bit more vague. Like market, all rental rates are going up because they were, and now as things decline or stabilize, you have to actually get nuance. So, back to basics, like where are we specifically with St. Thomas, or you look at, and again the unit itself. So I always go to the extreme example, but you have 60% of your building is studios and it's in Toronto. You are going to struggle to rent those, right? The vacancy on that is quite high.
It's competing with the condo product,
right? And there's tons of it, right?
Yeah. But anyhow, where we were going with it was the biggest challenge is you're trying to qualify what that rental rate is, and when you have a buyer and a seller, everybody's opinion is going to be different.
Yes,
right. I feel it's 1,500. Well, I actually have on good authority it's 1,800. Yep. Where the heck do you land? You're never going to have. Nobody's ever going to agree to that argument unless you can actually say, okay, well, let's go lease one,
right?
And then you run that program and you put it up and see what you can get.
Well said.
But that's, I think, the biggest challenge in today's market. Even if you can see eye to eye on cap rate and underwriting, what is market rent is the biggest argument point, at least I've been having with purchasers.
Yeah. So what we did,
you on the other side.
Yeah, and so great segue that we didn't plan. What I did for this is we actually had local, so we sold a building a block away, okay? The owners of that building brought, they have a really good, strong property management company. So we actually brought them through this building.
Right.
Called the agent, said, hey, look, this is our plan, because we're going to end up fighting about this, right? They have an appraisal. It's way higher than I think it should be. Of course, this is all we're doing every day. So bring them out, and these guys actually, we basically looked at them like they were independent. No, hey, here's my numbers. Can you tell us if they're accurate? They go out. And I took average market rents, and they are a little bit lower than them. So their numbers I actually took now $100 off of each one of theirs. So 2-bed units, they're kind of $1,850. I've got them at $1,750.
Right.
Okay. And you'll actually see in the rent roll, some of them are actually tenanted at $1,850 with the power of sale team, and they're $1,850. So $1,750 seems doable.
Yep.
And then the 1-beds we've got at $1,550. They were $1,650. So,
and you feel, and sorry, when you say they were, you mean the sellers?
The sellers were filling at $1,850.
Got it.
The property management company we
feels
brought
confident
out, they feel the same is doable.
Okay.
Yeah, the $1,850.
Okay. So then why go 100 less? Just curious.
Because I'm on the buy side.
Right. Okay.
Right? I gotta have something, right? So it's like here, the other, that's the obvious one. The other one is if you're going to tenant 9 vacant units, so why take kind of 100 below where they're going, right? So if I'm going to tenant 9 units, it's going to be a challenge.
Yeah.
I can hit $1,850 if I have one quality 2-bedroom unit. right? But now I have 9 of them.
Yeah.
So it's the vision of how long am I going to sit vacant for? And we're trying to fill these reasonably quick. These, whoever buys this, they're not going to want to sit on it vacant for 6 months. So yes, 1850 is doable if you're willing to wait, because we got to get 9 qualified renters.
Yep.
So
No, it makes sense.
yeah, it's
Makes
the what
sense.
fills it now number without being insane. Because the other thing too is people are missing deals by over underwriting. They're building filters all over, and then they're going, well, yeah, I'm a buyer at 2.8 million. It's like, yeah,
And that's kind of where I was going with the line of questioning, right? Is I being on the sell side, I have a distaste for people that over analyze, right? Or talk themselves out of a deal by over analyzing. And it's like, listen, we're already adjusting for the market. That's a cap rate thing.
yes,
Right? And I understand you want to build buffers and security and this and that, but there's a type of personality out there that will continue to scrutinize a deal until it doesn't make sense, and then come back to you and see, Dave, I told you this deal doesn't make sense.
Well said,
Look, with 20% vacancy rate,
Right.
And,
You can make
of course
anything
it
not
doesn't,
work.
right?
Yeah.
I've dealt with that on the selling side, and that's the buyer, and it's like, well, this is never coming together,
Yeah.
right? So I think back to a point you just made, which was you actually went and found a third-party company to come and do an independent report. I think that is the most valuable piece of information you can give right now to people, right? If, okay, here's the cap rate, we can agree on where the market is, we can agree roughly where this is, but now we're arguing vacancy, we're arguing, interest rates, or even cap rate to that point, right? We're arguing cap rate. Well, go get a third-party opinion and just get it sorted.
gives a framework to,
Yeah.
and it helps. Like now more than ever, if I see a good selling agent, I'll focus on the deal more, right?
Yeah.
Because we can work it, and we're all now within what we call striking distance, right? And to go back to one point, it's funny. My job for a while, and I'm sure you'll feel the same, was putting buffers in when people didn't want them in. Going, whoa, hey, Mr. Buyer, like I get it, but if one thing goes wrong, this whole thing collapses. So like slowing them down, like hitting brakes, like, hey, let's put it in. And to some sense, it's almost easier because as a sales guy, that's like, oh, this guy's really got my back.
Reverse psychology, right?
Yeah, but it's like, it's true. It's like, whoa, here, when you stress test it a little bit off of your numbers, this whole thing is going to go wrong real quick if not everything clicks. Now I'm on the other side of that, and it's a much different position because like, I'm not just selling you to sell you. It's a really good deal, and you're talking yourself out of it. And if you're telling me you have a 10-year time horizon on this thing, this is a fantastic buy. Yeah. So it's like you're watching people put in too many buffers and pushing themselves out of a deal. And we've said it on every show.
Sorry, but I think that comes from a lack of knowledge or lack of experience, right? When you don't know which number to put in there, you're going to find something that's silly and throw it in to be like, okay, well, there's no way it's less than.
Yeah.
And I think that's that exercise, and that's that mindset, and where people are going with that is like, if you just don't have the number, let's pick a number that I know I'm not going to be wrong with.
Yeah.
And to your point,
and again, it's we are seeing I feel like I'm on repeat from every episode, but the larger groups, like they're buying aggressively, they're buying a lot, and they're buying quickly, and some of the newer buyer groups, they're hesitant to jump in, and I understand, I totally feel it, but that's where we're trying to give them true advice and counsel to say, hey, look, like we have built in those cushions, we have done that, so adding cushions on cushions makes deals not work, and let's go through it line by line. So, as we go and say, hey, we had this independent team go do this. They're at 1850. They've rented these buildings in the area for that number just this week, just last week. Let's use 1750 to be safe.
Yeah.
Let's not use 16.
Yeah.
Let's not use a 9 cap, right? Because then you're just going to soon, whenever the market starts to really skyrocket, come up, or at least start to go on the ascend, these people are going to be left, with cash and no deal.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And then they're going to end up overpaying.
Yeah, because they feel comfortable with the ability to do it. So kind of jumping back to the deal, I've got it at 3.5 million. That's just under 200 a door. So even if we talk objectively about that, 200 a door, it's mostly 2 beds. They're large 2 beds, good area in St. Thomas, and all of them except for 2 are renoed. That's a good starting place.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
I fill in the market rents at $1,750 that we talked about. That would be at about a six cap,
Okay.
which is nice. And again, no renos to be done, just tenant.
Yeah.
Right. The 2 non-renoed units are already tenanted. Okay.
Got it.
So there is a bit of lift. I put no parking income.
Okay.
There's no laundry income, which we should probably put on. Again, a lot of different ways to do it. So that's cushion on cushion. So maybe we could redo that. So you're probably a 675 cap.
Yeah.
You won't be able to close this directly to CMHC because of the vacancies and because it's a power of sale. There's no way they're going to give you time. So I built in $40,000 for a 1-bedroom renovation, $45,000 for the 2. This is overkill because those are actually tenanted.
Right.
Okay, so those don't need to be in here, but I'll explain why. I think it's good to have them in. I put $100,000 carry cost in there. It's not going to be that much.
Right.
So overkill. Then I put a contingency of 50. I don't think there's a person on the planet that's going to tell me that I need to add more into that. That's major overkill.
Right.
That's $235,000. Okay. If we do that under the same assumptions as typical, so market rate, I put 4.5% instead of 4.25, which is probably what you'll get. 85% loan to value. You're stripping almost all of your capital out. You're leaving $17,000 in the deal.
Yeah.
So that's why you see I love it.
Love it.
So that probably might be a bit on the aggressive side.
Yeah.
So I can see a vision of kind of 3.6, 3.65.
Listen, I think if you look at your total capital injection and you look at, okay, I got to leave $50,000 to $100,000 in the deal, like it's
Right.
it's a pretty good deal.
When it's, again, all you're doing is tenanting renovated units.
Yeah.
Like, it's fantastic. So,
Good.
yeah, these are the style of deals that are out there. So if you can wrap your head around a power of sale or receivership style deal, it's there. If you don't want to go that route, there's still some incredible direct to CMHC, the stuff we constantly do, 85% LTV, 1-2 debt cover stuff. So there's quality stuff out there.
Love it. Right on. Well,
Amazing.
I think that's
it. We're
I
done.
think that's a wrap. You wanna give us the outro, Dave?
Yeah, let's do that. So if you made it this far, thank you. Like, subscribe, follow. Get on the insiders list. So there we do. There's a lot going on now. We're doing a lot of building valuations for sellers, even ones that don't want to sell. Taking on a lot of new buyers right now. We've got some capacity with some of our other team members as well. So we'd love to just jump on, have a conversation with you, and see how we can help.
Love it. Thanks for sticking around, guys.
Appreciate it.